of Texas. Midland Lee is 6-1, their only loss coming in preseason to the Killeen Kangaroos. You know, this rivalry, as we mentioned earlier, really got started in 1983 when Midland Lee knocked off Permian twice, once in the regular season, once in the state quarterfinals. It was then, really, that Midland Lee's football program turned the corner, and the Rebels have been to the state playoffs every year since 1983. As for Permian, well, you know about the great Mojo tradition. The Panthers have the best record of any high school in the state of Texas in the last 25 years, but of course the one team that they've had the most trouble with in the last 7 years, Midland Lee. Before we talk about tonight's game, let's first look back at some of the great moments, some of the great plays from this intense rivalry. 1983 regular season game. Lee beats Permian 20-7 and does it with a swarming defense. 1983 state quarterfinals game in Lubbock. 35,000 on hand saw Tyrone Thurman double dribble his way to a 25-yard touchdown. And how about Lee's D putting the hammer on Permian's all-state quarterback Rex Lamberti? 20-0 Midland Lee, and the Rebels went on to state. 1984 regular season game. Alton Holloway to Greg Anderson to Royce Lightfoot, and Permian leads 14-13 at halftime. Second half, Alton Holloway to Greg Anderson, and Permian gains revenge, winning 28-13. Doesn't need it, gets into the end zone, touchdown Permian. 1984 state quarterfinals in Lubbock. Greg Anderson's diving catch in the end zone cuts Midland Lee's lead to 14-9 at halftime. And with 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, Dow Watson scores from 4 yards out. Permian beats Lee 15-14, and the Panthers go on to a state championship. 1985, a Thursday night TV game. Greg Anderson's touchdown puts Mojo on top 13-7. Late fourth quarter, Lee with a 4th and goal at its 7, and Rodney Johnson is sacked. Permian holds on 13-7. 1986, Lee fullback Wayman Goodley busts it right up the middle. A 75-yard touchdown, and the Rebels led 17-7 at halftime. In the third quarter, Billy Wagner takes a punt and returns it 39 yards for a Rebel touchdown. The final, Midland Lee 24, Permian 14. 1987 saw the highest scoring game in the series history. Durian Jenkins' catch in the back of the end zone just before halftime gave Midland Lee a 21-0 lead. In the second half, the Rebels just kept pouring it on. Joe Woodard from 13 yards out, and Midland Lee blows out Permian 42-21. 1988, Permian jumps out to a quick 21-10 second quarter lead on Lloyd Hill's 60-yard touchdown pass play. But just before halftime, the Rebels strike back. John Baez makes an outstanding catch, and suddenly it was a 21-16 game. In the third quarter, the Rebels take a 22-21 lead on this short touchdown. But Mojo comes right back, and late in the fourth quarter, a chance to win the game. But the field goal is blocked, and the Rebels had stunned Permian 22-21. Ah, yes, a great rivalry, and this man right here knows something about it. Jack Terrian, former Lee head coach, now Midland School's athletic director. Why has this game become more than just a football game?
Well, I don't know. Really, Skip, I think it's just the intensity and the closeness we have with both towns, and they know each other from a long time, and growing up and playing against each other in junior high, I think, has a lot to do with it.
All right. 1983 was really the key year when Midland Lee turned this thing into what it has become today. 1983 state quarterfinals and the victory over Permian.
Well, that's true, and went to the state finals in '83 and had 2 victories that year over Permian, and just like you say, I think that they've been in the playoffs every year since then, and of course that's the beginning of something that's been pretty good for the last 7 years.
Do you miss being out there coaching?
Well, yeah, to a certain extent, especially on a night like this. You're going to miss it.
All right, and who do you like tonight?
Well, I'm going to like the Lee Rebels, who I'm going to like.
All right, Jack Terrian, I knew you would say that for some reason. Well, the man who coached against the Permian Panthers and against Jack Terrian, John Wilkins, who is now the Ector School's athletic director. What a great job he did in his 13 years as head coach of Mojo. Yesterday, we spoke with him about this great game, and he had some interesting comments.
I think, they say storied tradition really begins in '83, I think, with the 2 games we played in '83 and then the 2 games in '84. Certainly those were, when you play 4 times within one calendar year, then it draws some attention. You know, just good football games, good football teams, a lot at stake. The winner, obviously has gone on, and I think in the last, well, it's gone on to win the district championship, I guess, except in '83.
Do you miss being involved in this game as a coach?
Well, yes and no. You know, you miss, as I said a while ago, you miss that excitement part of it, but as far as the other part of it, the anxiety and the nervousness and the, you know, the preparation, I don't necessarily miss that. But, you know, you miss the other part of it, the feeling that you walk on the field, that you know, this is a big ball game.
It certainly is a big ball game, and John Wilkins, he'll be over at the Midland High Odessa High game tonight, working that one at Ratliff Stadium, but he says he will have his radio on listening to this ball game. We'll take a commercial break here. When we come back, Sheldon Haygood's over on the Mojo side of the field, and he'll be previewing the game. And we're just about 35 minutes away from kickoff. The stands are almost full now. Let's quickly go over to the east side of the stadium, the Mojo side, for a special report from Sheldon Haygood. Sheldon?
Thank you, Skip. As you can see behind me, the Permian Panther fans are getting settled in their seat, hoping that their team can break a 3-game losing streak to the Rebels. Now, both teams are already in the playoffs. Tonight's game is to determine who will be the top team out of the district, either Permian or Lee. The Panthers have had no trouble moving the football this year. In fact, Permian scores touchdowns as easy as taking candy from a baby. Tonight, Mojo will do whatever it takes to find pay dirt.
What we try to do will be what we've been doing over the course of this season, and hopefully some of it will be effective.
Well, I think they try to throw the football. I think they tried to beat us. We just got some average kids back there, and they were going to try to throw the football to Hill. If we had a receiver like that, I would too.
As for the Rebels, well, they like to give the football to 1,000-yard rusher Ferris Strambler on the power sweep.
Everybody wants to hit him hard, get him out of the game, kind of, you know. Everybody's wanting to hit him hard.
We have to stop our whole offense, you know, because, you know, I play fake a lot and stuff, and, you know, I think that, well, I guess they do have to stop me.
And that won't be easy. In the last 3 meetings, Lee has won. But it's the Panthers who are a 6-point favorite to win this time.
And this is the most important game of the year to this point. And we're just going to have to play a great game.
I love Mojo. I just play them every game of the year. I'm just excited for it.
So a bunch of people are going to be watching us on TV, and they know that we never beat them, and it's going to be just have to beat them.
This is definitely more special. First of all, it's for the district championship. And then being on national television, there's nothing like it.
The district championship is on the line tonight, Skip. It should be a good one. Let's go back to Skip.
All right, Sheldon, thank you so much. And don't forget, there are some other games that are being played tonight. Let's look at District 4-5A's schedule. And, of course, Permian against Midland Lee is the big one tonight here at Memorial Stadium. But don't forget, the Midland High Bulldogs will be taking on Odessa High. That one kicks off 8 o'clock at Ratliff Stadium. Abilene High against San Angelo Central and Abilene Cooper. Well, the Cougars are open this week. In District 4-4A, Andrews against Big Spring. Monahans will be in Sweetwater. A couple of other games, Snyder and Pecos, and San Angelo Lakeview will take on Fort Stockton. A couple of quick sports notes to pass your way in baseball. Luke Piniella has become the new manager of the Cincinnati Reds. John McNamara has become the new manager of the Cleveland Indians. And what one junior college score from this afternoon, Midland College knocks off Murray State.
Next on the Big 2 News Update, thousands of fans turned out at Midland Memorial Stadium tonight for the Lee Permian Shootout.
Football fever was rampant at the Odessa and Midland high schools today.
The mood is more serious in Houston, where a woman is holding her baby at knife point.
Skip has all your high school football scores.
And Jay Gordon has your weekend weather.
The Big 2 News Update is next.
KMID, Midland, Odessa. Midland, Odessa's news leader. Big 2 News Weekend Update.
High School District 4-5A honors were decided tonight in the Permian Basin. When the clock ran out, the Permian Panthers had won the bragging rights to the district title. It was Permian 17, Midland Lee 13.
Tonight's game between Odessa Permian and Midland Lee was the high point of the season. It's hard to describe the flavor and excitement of West Texas football. However, tonight we sent Big 2 Scott Wieditz out to capture that spirit. Unfortunately, he didn't have a ticket.
Sorry, you don't have a ticket. Can't get in.
Well, I don't have a ticket, but I got to cover this game. Is it okay if I get in with me and my cameraman?
Can't get in.
Well, you know who I am?
No,
Never seen you before.
Never seen me before. Well, I'm Scott Wittes with Channel 2. I really need to get in to cover this game.
Sorry, can't get in without a ticket.
Oh, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it done here, Spencer. Spencer, where are you going? Spencer, where are you going? Stay here.
Okay, so I didn't have a ticket. Next best thing, jump the fence. And bingo, here it is, the game everyone's talking about. No doubt about it, the fans here are excited.
I think probably one of the biggest for them was the first time we beat them about 4 years ago. They really got caught off guard. They didn't have any idea we could kick their pants over there in their own stadium. Neither did they think they could the next year and the next. And I don't think they think it tonight.
Is it everything it's cracked up to be?
Sure it is. This is West Texas football.
Yeah, I've heard it before. I'm beginning to think everybody's more interested in what's happening on the field. What this story needs is more controversy. Let's see what I can stir up.
Hey, I was talking to some of the Lee fans over there, and they said they had to pay $2 less for their tickets than you guys.
They did. Well, that's not fair. Well, that's all right. We're going to give them $2 more service than what we're going to get.
Hey, that was a good smoke screen. Let's try this.
What do you have to say about the Lee fans over there?
They're loud. Are they? Yeah. I hear them over here.
They told me to tell you guys that they paid $2 less for their tickets than you had to.
Well, I guess that's a good deal.
Speaking of good deal, what about those end zone seats? Well, the view's kind of lousy, but hey, who cares? At least we're at the game.
I finally got a great seat here. I'm watching the game. It looks like
I told you can't get in without a ticket.
Well, I'm sorry. Hey, okay. See you later.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, the spirit at all four of Midland Odessa high schools was high for tonight's game.
And, of course, district honors were at stake for the Lee Permian fans.
Out of game. It came down to the last play of the game, and that's the way that game is supposed to be.
What a barn burner.
And for the first time in 4 years, or actually 3 or 4 years, Permian has finally beaten Midland Lee, and I'm telling you something, they had to hold on to do it tonight. The Panthers win the District 4 5A football championship, and Permian did it tonight by beating Midland Lee 17-13 in front of a sellout crowd at Memorial Stadium, and we'll take you there. And you can see that fans on both sides were packed in, not an empty seat in the house. They said 15,000 fans were there. The place only holds 12,000. Opening kickoff, and watch what happens here. The ball comes down to Arve Villa, and he'll break it right up the middle. Now watch him. He'll finally be brought down by Ferris Scrambler, the Rebels running back at the 39-yard line. And here's a big play early in this game. Stoney Case going deep to Lloyd Hill. Now, he makes the catch, but yes, he did drop it, and a good call there by the official. Now, the Rebels did take over but couldn't move, but watch this punt by Jason Seaver, a boomer that ends up at the Permian 3-yard line. That turned out to be a 68-yard kick. Now, the Panthers did drive it out of there. A key third down play. Stoney Case to Lloyd Hill. Look at that catch. And a first down. And the quarter ended with no score. The Permian kept moving the ball. Stoney Case over the middle to Adrian Villa, and that is a first down. Then Case under pressure, throws to Hill, and you know he's going to hang on. 39-yard touchdown makes it 7-0 Permian on top. Now, late second quarter, Rebels on the move. Vince Henderson rolls left, fires it to John Baez. He takes it to the Permian 21-yard line, and from there, Henderson drops back and lofts it up top to Greg Rich. There is a Lee touchdown, 7-6, because the extra point try was no good. The snap was bobbled, and you can see the play there in the back of the end zone. So it remains 7-6, Permian on top. Then with 1 minute to play in the half, the handoff goes to Arve Villa, and he'll break it right up the middle 60 yards, and is finally dragged down at the 15-yard line. 2 seconds to play in the first half. Clint Stewart comes in, boots a 30-yard field goal. It wasn't pretty, but it was good. Permian went to the locker room with a 10-6 lead. Now, early fourth quarter, Arthur Donnelly trying a 46-yard field goal, and yes, you can see, no doubt about it, roughing the kicker on Robbie Manelli. The Rebs then drive down 4th and 1, Ferris Scrambler touchdown. Midland leading 13-10, but the Panthers would rally back. Stoney Case to Allen Wiles. Permian leads 17-13, but here come the Rebels. They drive the field, 7 seconds to play, and here's what happened.
golly, it's just a great feeling to beat them for the first time in 3 years, and I'm glad this is the team. This team's going all the way.
Oh, we're extremely proud of our young men. I think they played a great game between two great football teams tonight. Defense rose up when they had to there in the fourth quarter down the goal line, and it was just a tremendously exciting football game.
It certainly was. Permian winning at 17-13. The Panthers win the district championship. The Rebels will finish as the second-place team, and, of course, both teams moving on to the state playoffs in 2 weeks. Well, at Ratliff Stadium tonight, the Odessa High Broncos are about to wrap up their season with a victory over the Midland High Bulldogs. The Broncos are leading by a score of 28-7 with just a few minutes to play. And, of course, Odessa High will finish all alone in third place in District 4-5A with an outstanding 6-3 record. Some highlights from Ratliff, and look at Kevin Skinner. 25-yard touchdown, and the Broncos had themselves the early 7-0 lead. Now, still in the first quarter, the flip back goes to Patrick Brown, but there is a fumble, and it is recovered by the Bulldogs. And from there, the Dogs would take it in. A 1-yard touchdown by Albert Ray ties the game at 7-7. But second quarter, watch Patrick Brown. Look at these moves. 48 yards and down the far sideline. Looked like he made it into the end zone, but they called him out at the 1-yard line. From there, Patrick Brown would go up and over. Broncos led 14-7. They took a 21-7 lead at halftime. Right now, they are leading by a score of 28-7. And there it is, still in the fourth quarter, 28-7. So the Broncos should finish out at 6-3. Once again, Permian, number 2 team in the state, winning 17-13. San Angelo Central is leading Abilene High. That's now in the fourth quarter. And, of course, Abilene Cooper was open this week. In District 4-4A, Andrews and Big Spring, a wild scoring spree in that one with the Steers holding on to a 35-26 lead. Monahans over Sweetwater. That is now in the fourth quarter. Snyder losing to Pecos in the fourth. San Angelo Lakeview by 1 over Fort Stockton. That one's not over yet. Crane on top of Alpine. No doubt who's going to win that game. Greenwood beats Kermit 30-20. Ira Ann over Stanton. That is now in the fourth, 10-7. Denver City beats Brownfield tonight 20-15. Sanderson knocked off by Wink 8-0. Lamesa beating Slayton 46-19. That's a final. Colorado City losing to Ballinger 38-8. That is in the fourth. And McCamey over Presidio 21-0. That's in the third. And, of course, we'll update all of the scores plus more highlights tonight on the final score, which will run about 30 minutes after this newscast. In basketball, the Midland College Chaparrals won their consolation game today against Murray State College of Oklahoma. Highlights, and Chaps in white, Ron Johnson feeding Tim Owens, and Midland had themselves a 6-point lead, and they would increase that lead. Johnson to Keithus Hanks, the one-hander is good. Midland led by 10, but Murray State would keep it close at least for a while. Nice play inside to Terrence Watson. That cut the lead back to 6, but Midland College too strong down the stretch. Look at the passing here, and it finally goes inside to Kerwin Harris. Midland goes on to beat Murray State 92-70. The Chaps will play in the losers bracket championship game tomorrow afternoon at Chaparral Center. That will start at 2 o'clock. Other scores from the Chap Classic: South Plains over Cisco Junior College 88-75. Wilson Optical, the team that beat Midland last night in the first round, knocks off Dodge City of Kansas 73-68. And right now at halftime, the defending tournament champion Jacksonville team tied with Garden City of Kansas 44-44. The winner of that team will face Wilson Optical in the Chap Classic Finals tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The NBA season got underway tonight. The Lakers beat the Dallas Mavericks by a score of 102-94. Right now, the Houston Rockets are leading the Los Angeles Clippers 19-14. And a couple of baseball notes from this afternoon. The Cincinnati Reds have named their new manager. He is Lou Piniella, the former manager of the New York Yankees. And John McNamara, a man who's been in baseball a long time, is the new manager of the Cleveland Indians.
All right, and gosh, what an exciting football game tonight,
really
all of them.
Exciting.
Gosh, the Lee Permian game.
It came right down to the wire. Permian wins it. Both teams are going to the playoffs, and if they do as expected in the playoffs, they could meet again in the state quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to see that again.
I'd like to see that myself.
Okay.
We'll have a final word in just a moment.